Hello everyone, and my name is Noah Walter, and you join me live here with Texas Motor Speedway at the BTT 150. We got 150 miles ahead of us here tonight. That's 100 laps at Texas Motor Speedway. We got some big racing ahead of us tonight. We got 20 cars going to be joining us out in the field tonight with a couple of starts we haven't seen in a while, including from Blake Hensley, Jesse Atkinson, and Will Cloud. It's going to be good to see a lot of these guys back out on track here tonight for a fantastic Texas race starting in the late afternoon and leading up until the nighttime. 150 miles is going to make for a wild track, especially with the tire wear that we're going to be seeing in turns 1 and 2. Going to make a huge difference. Jesse, good to see you out there in the chat. Hope you're ready for tonight's race as we round out the rest of qualifying here with the BTT 150. Thank you very much for them to sponsoring this week's race, and thank you very much to Schroeder Plumbing for sponsoring our fantastic Cup Series. Gotta appreciate them out there. And with that, we're going to be starting up our gridding order. So let's go ahead and join in and see who qualified where. Once again, it's going to be the BTT 150. So you can go ahead and thank BTT for this week's race. And let's go and run through our grid order. Starting on pole position is going to be the number 41 of Richard Drake, with Will Cloud in the 48 going to be alongside. Row number 2 is going to go to Brian Fradian and Rob Carl, bringing up 4th position. Row number 3 is going to go to Paul Ems and the 07 of Wes Gallo. Row number 4 is going to go to the 7th place of Blake Hensley in the number 31 Kellogg's Machine, with Matt Malavagna in the number 3, bringing up the 8th place position. Row number 5 is going to go to the 22 of Greg Snellgrove and the 39 of Brandon Fiedler. Row number 6 is going to go to Michael Jennings and Jeffrey Belk, bringing up 11th and 12th. 7th is going to be Kyle Mundell and Tyler Hallahan. Tyler is the guy that works over at BTT and brings us to them, so we got to appreciate Tyler as well. With row number 8 being also brought up by Michael Sparks and Mark LaPierre. In 17th position, it's going to be Cody Snyder and Patrick Coluccio in row number 9. Then finally, row number 10 is going to be going to the 66 of Sylvan Seguin, and not listed is going to be the 00 of Jesse Atkinson. 10 rows, 20 cars. We are in for an absolute treat of a race here tonight with the BTT 150 at Texas Motor Speedway. Says before, Richard Drake is going to be the guy leading us off with our fantastic Cup Series start. It's been a while since we've been here, actually, not just in Texas, but here with CASCAR in general last week over at the Schroeder Plumbing 160 at Road America. It had to be an in-car broadcast due to some broadcasting issues we were having, unfortunately. But we are back tonight ready to give a fantastic race. I'll give a big thank you to our partner, Pierce Graphics, for putting together our fantastic graphics package, making sure it's working for us here tonight, especially after the issues coming up with the iRacing update and everything else that rolls along. We start a new season. Season number 1 here at iRacing now. Start bringing in the new year very soon. Next week is going to be an off week here for the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series, as it is going to be a Christmas break. So no broadcast then. Keep out for some extra content, though. You can check out my stuff over at www.fourcloak.net, over at Instagram as well, with @4cloakmedia. Like to put on some other stuff, and got some special projects always in the works as well. Ready to bring in great content to you guys out there. Love you all and the fans. As I said before, 20 cars in our field here tonight. 41 and the 48 going to be leading us off from the front row. Will Cloud, his last start here was at Michigan, and he was able to secure a fantastic starting position, finishing position in the stage, able to win the stage on fuel mileage, and it was an amazing result at that. Can't wait to see what he's going to be able to do with us here tonight. And Richard Drake as well, who was able to win yesterday's race over in the Truck Series, absolutely stomping the floor in his competition. Now, as the pace car pulls off here at Texas Motor Speedway, as we roll up to the start line, before it's a long one, green flag! We are here live with the BTT 150. Richard Drake off to a fantastic start there on the inside line. It's going to be Will Cloud and everybody else struggling a little bit into the grass there for Blake Hensley in the 86 of Michael Jennings. Absolutely pulled off as they're 3 wide, though, a little bit further down in the field there. You can see the number 55 sticking up on the outside now is the 39 of Brandon Fiedler. Is going to be cutting up through the field with his Spider-Man Schroeder Plumbing. Number 39 is the wrecking down the back starts as Will Cloud and Rob Carl and several other guys involved as the yellow comes out. as the entire field looks to be almost collected in that one. It's Texas Motor Speedway after turn number 2. Jesse Atkinson able to slip on by minimal damage. Huge smoke there out of, we see LaPierre, Cloud, Carl. Looks like Matt Malavani there is going to be missing his hood as well. Not a good sign. A lot of these guys are going to have to take their fast repair early on lap number 1. Cold tires. It makes starts difficult. We're going to make sure we go ahead and review that and see just what happened here at Texas Motor Speedway. Definitely a more interesting caution we have here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. Let's go ahead and bring us live and see just what's happening now. So here we are in our replay off of turn number 2. It looks like Brian Fradian starts to lose the rear end off of turn number 2, starts going down. Paul M slows up. Will Cloud also losing it off of there. But 2 ends up clipping Carl and the wall as Fradian is down as well, taking himself out. Paul M's bit involved there. Before, as we see, it looks like everybody else just gets absolutely involved. The 31 and the 22 able to just barely skip. 39 there. Brandon Feeler just barely able to slip on by. It looks like Sparks as well. Is that's a roll there for the 4 of Cody Snyder. I mean, that is an absolute start there for these guys. I mean, huge damage out of just about everybody. Some of them very close. It looks like the 18 of Coluccio there was able to just slip on through with almost no damage at all. Actually, it looks like none. That is impressive, being able that close against the wall. 39 is Brandon Feeler, so as we saw before. Sparks, I think he was able to just drive through it. Very minimal damage that you can see on his number 42 Chevrolet Camaro. And I think we got to see Jesse Atkinson. Yep, there he is in the Barbie 00, able to slip on by on the outside. What a start for this series here live once again. That is definitely an event that we saw off the exit of 2, and hopefully they can get it together a little bit more coming up soon, because that is an unfortunate start. I think just something tells me that the cold tires and change into nighttime was something nobody was really expecting too much. All right, well, we join back up into live now here at Texas Motor Speedway. Just in time, as they're now going to be 2 wide, bringing us to the green flag. Let's go and bring in our top there and our field positions. You can see a lot of the guys involved in the accident are basically sent to the rear with their heavy damage and other issues that they had. It's going to make this start a lot more stressful for them, figuring as they now have 0 chance of getting away if they get involved in another wreck. And it's a 1.5 mile track. Wrecks are bound to happen almost. With that, Richard Drake and Paul Ems are going to be leading us to our start here tonight. Maybe we can see the 22 and the 28 hold it together a little bit better there on this start. I know that the front row with the draft can be kind of weird, so let's wish them the best of luck on this one. They're apparently going to need it. As we see our field now roll into turn number 4. The Hooters and the Kinetic. The car's going to be starting the field. The iRacing.com pace car about to pull off. We're off to a great start. All right, and now as they approach the green flag zone, wait for the engines to roar. It's going to be soon. And green flag, we are live here at the BTT 150. Richard Drake off to a great start again. Paul Ems a little bit sleeping there on that outside. Tyler Hallahan there in the 88 looking very fast with his Mountain Dew car. Able to stick it on the bottom. It looks like he's going to be gaining a few positions that way. It is going to be a good start for him. Let's watch the exit off of 2, and it looks like this is going to be running better this time. As your leaders start to escape away, look down towards the rest of the field. They make it. There we go. We're going to start running some laps here at Texas Motor Speedway. currently. We see a lot of guys that we're not usually seeing up front right now up here, so this is going to be making for an interesting event. We actually saw that in practice, as well as that the field was very interesting in terms of their placement. And it looks like someone, especially like Jesse Atkinson, who started at the rear of the field, wanted to avoid any drama, which he was able to actually do, starting from last. He's now cutting his way up into 10th position. He's been up half the field just to do one caution, and he's now got a bit of a ways to go, but he's still got a lot of speed there in that Barbie 00. He's got to get around Sylvan Seguin there in the 66 Napa Chevrolet. It looks like he's going to be looking down, but Sylvan's going to block him, not let him through very easily. We still see damage there on that 81 of Brian Fratien. Did not want to take his fast repair and waste it. Make his life that much more difficult, though, here in the CASCAR Short Plumbing Cup Series. It looks like these guys are starting to fan out just a little bit more now. As we look up to the front of the field, Paul Ems is still trying to chase down Richard Drake, but it looks like he's got some huge pressure right now behind him from Brandon Fiedler there. 39 and Shorter Plumbing Spider-Man paint scheme there with Greg Snowgrove as well, currently running in fourth. Your top four guys all currently sticking together. Patrick Lucio brings up 5th place, holding up the field of, looks like Jeffrey Belk able to make it up towards the front. Tyler Hallahan, Jennings, the rest of your field there, trying to catch up as well. As we see, Sylvan is able to block Jesse Atkinson, not going to let him through. You know that the arrow push was something that they were discussing over in team practices and during the actual practice event. Makes it a bit hard to pass here sometimes. You got to stick it, you got to really commit to it and hope someone is willing to help you, because it is going to be difficult to get around these guys. If not, it looks like Wes Gallo maybe he's getting some help there from the 3 of Matt Malavani, able to stick it on the bottom, maybe get around Jesse Atkinson soon. He's got the line for it. Looks like he's going to stay on the bottom and maybe even get around Sylvan Seguin as well. Texas Motor Speedway, one of those interesting tracks where the banking is different on the 2 different turns. We're able to jump up a little bit further ahead. Here we can see Tyler Hallahan there in the green car. In this first turn, it's 20 degrees of banking and much wider racing surface. Harder to stick it in there. You got to let off the gas a lot of the time. Hopefully you don't scrub up your tires too bad, because if not, you're going to be wishing you didn't later on. As we head down the backstretch, you can see them now entering turn number 3, and that is where the flat foot 24-degree banking is. It's actually this banking that was the same over in turns 1 and 2 a few years ago, but they shaved it down and wanted to flatten it out to make the racing more interesting, and honestly, I think they were able to do it. To see some more interesting events in real life, and we've seen it on iRacing as well quite a few times. Well, to bring up one of our new features that we have not seen before here in the Shorter Plumbing Cup Series that I am glad to pronounce, has to be our new battle prediction. Thank you to Pierce Graphics for putting that together for us. We're going to watch now with Paul Ems and see how he is running right now with Richard Drake. It looks like they're currently at a similar pace. Let's see across the line this time if that's changed any, but it looks like he is dropping back. There it is. We check with Greg Snowgrove here, for example. We can see if that's any different. He's been able to gain some time. Striking distance supposedly within 65 laps. We're going to see how that is going to be changing here with the tire wear and who is able to handle it better. You can see a live gap there on the bottom as well. It's going to run across the line. He's been closing up, which is going to make that a little bit easier for him, but it looks like they're currently sticking about the same. Big 2 wide racing there in the back. Actually, he's falling back just a hair. That is going to make his life that much more difficult. Joining up with Michael Jennings there in the 86. That's the white car on the bottom. Currently on the inside of Patrick Lucio. He's got a big car, or big group of cars around him. 88 at Tyler Hallahan, sticking it there on the bottom. Does not want to let anybody by. Be his race. Atkinson currently trying to make up some positions, sticking it in the high line, getting a bit of a push there from the 07 of Wes Gallo. Just going to be helping him in terms of pace just a bit there. As the outside line can have a struggle there, especially in turns 1 and 2, but even more so in 3 and 4, where the bottom is the preferred place to be. Got a bit of space now, so now's the time to take it if he wants it. Going to have to cut ahead of Hallahan. It looks like Wes Gallo's going to be able to do the same there in that Noah's Made Machine 07. Gotta appreciate it. Bit of a throwback to, we had Charlotte last season, the World 300, where it was Jeffrey Belk in 55. You can see him up there as well, running a very similar paint scheme to that. Showing up like that, and I thought it was an Aaron's paint scheme, but it was not. good to see some nice pack racing here with the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. So go and jump up to your leader, Richard Drake, the 41 Toyota Camry, currently running away with this thing so far. Almost a 2-second lead ahead of Paul Ems now, who is going to be leading his teammate there, Greg Snellberg, by not too much. Got to keep a close eye on that because Greg is going to try to come in and close for the strike if possible, but it is going to be difficult. And some of these guys, like I said, we have not seen their names up here running that often before, are currently doing a really good job of keeping up front. I think somewhat due to tire wear, the difficulty passing, but also the strategy that it takes to be up front, as you have to start considering when you're going to be pitting these tires, and the fuel can make it to roughly 40 laps. I believe 38 is going to be the preferred late entry, so expect around lap 35 cars start to come and pit in. But Michael Jennings is currently holding himself up in 4th position. Mr. Hybrid himself, I believe his hybrid engines that he uses that are probably a little bit down on power are currently doing wonders for him, as he's been able to save a bit of tires, get up into 4th position. Too wide racing there between Fiedler and it looks like the 18 of Coluccio into the wall for the two of them. No caution there. It is going to be a struggle there for them coming back now. I think Fiedler just was struggling for pace. He's struggling for grip, and he just accidentally got up. Coluccio's just there. Man, it is difficult for those two. Unfortunate as well, as they're now going to have a harder time with that aero damage. But it looks like Coluccio was able to get away from that a bit more cleanly there compared to the 39 Shorter Plumbing Toyota Camry. Jesse Atkinson, who started in last place, 20th position, has made up 13 positions. Currently running now in 7th, able to get up a huge amount. I mean, that is just absolutely insane. Props to him for just being so competitive so far. Let's see what he can do there with that Ford. He's currently the only Ford in the field after Wes Gallo switched manufacturers, making that just that more interesting. Speaking of manufacturers, let's bring up another new feature that we got here tonight. We can go ahead and see on the left-hand side of your screen. You can now see who is running what there. Just where everybody is. You can see it's a very big, dominant Chevrolet field. We have a slide there out of the 00. Gotta make sure he holds on to that thing. That rookie, those rookie stripes on the back. As I said, though, a majorly Chevrolet field. You can see it's mainly Chevrolet and Toyota up front, though. In terms of car-to-amount ratio, though, you definitely notice that there is a big lean on the Toyotas being up front. Richard Drake now up towards the front as well, almost getting a 3-second lead as he crosses the line. I mean, when I said that he, did a real good job at Milwaukee Mile in the Truck Series last night, I do mean it, figuring as he was the only vehicle on the lead lap finishing the race. He was absolutely able to just run away with his position. And it looks like tonight he's going to be almost doing so as well. However, he's going to be curbed just a little bit by the fuel strategy and just how far you can get on a 1.5-mile circuit in the Cup cars. Hopping back a little bit, we see the 07 of Wes Gallo now up into 4th position, overtaking Michael Jennings. Jesse Atkinson stuck in 7th. He lost his buddy that he's running with there of Gallo. Jeffrey Bell currently sticking it in 6th as they try to work together and see what they can do. So I said before, though, the joke hybrid engine that Jennings likes to run, the way he does his vehicle is currently really helping him. He's been able to save on tire wear and still run up in the top 5. I know that Checkered Leopard LLC will be very happy with a good finish out of Jennings here tonight, so let's see what he can do here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. Thank you to BTT for sponsoring this week's race once again, and to Shorter Plumbing for sponsoring a fantastic racing season. As we see the 55 of Jeffrey Belk hoping to pass on the outside there of Jennings. He's making a move. Don't know how far he's going to be able to get, though, as that outside line can be deadly, especially when you get up close to that wall doing the push. Hallahan sticking up with these guys, though, currently running in 8th position in the 88 Mountain Dew BTC machine. Closing up some time up to Jesse Atkinson as well. We can go ahead and take a look at our prediction there. Currently running a similar pace across the line, and it looks like similar pace. As soon as it says that, though, we see running the bottom is going to be very useful there for Hallahan as he starts to close up just a little bit more, but the runoff not as good. I know that Tyler's been having some computer issues, and clearly popping in and out is going to be one of them, so we're going to stay off him for right now, and hopefully he can get that a bit more sorted. It looks like it's not just him, though, as currently Greg Snellgrove is struggling as well, and those two race on the same internet connection. I think their Canada region is currently struggling right now. The two Canadians up there, some of the runners, owners, I should say, of CASCAR, struggling for internet connection. It's going to make this a little bit more difficult there. Fellow Canadian Paul Ems, though, currently running in third, is in a great spot, though, to make up some spots. So look at our similar pace. Let's see. Yep, still similar pace. That tool is going to be very useful for us, especially after our stage break, but when people go in to see what they take in terms of tires and everything else, that's when it becomes a lot more interesting as we get to see who has the pace and who doesn't. See the strategies they're using, Paul Ems is using. He's trying to diamond the track a little bit more, trying to see if he can take more of a racing line compared to staying in the draft there of the 22. To make his life a little bit more difficult, but maybe if he's struggling for temps, it is a good idea to continue on that for now. First start we've seen in a while there, it's going to be the 48 of Will Cloud after sadly involved in the huge accident on turn 2 out of lap number 1. He's got a hair more damage there after he had to take his fast repair for sure on that one. There in the 48 Pierce Graphics machine, going to be sticking it currently in the middle there in turns 3 and 4. He's got the 2 of Rob Carl trying to chase him down. He's currently a lap down. That 2 is. Same with the 34 of Kyle Mundell running. Oh, he's still in the pits. Unfortunately, looks like he had... Oh, as soon as I said that, he must have taken his pit stop just now. See the 34 Waterloo Brewing Chevrolet going to be coming out. Hoping to make up some positions there. And like I said before, this is where the battle prediction is going to be great to see, as he's going to have a lot more pace on fresh tires. Does have a lot of places to go, though, as he's currently going to be in 20th. It's definitely a short pit, though. Choosing to go in on roughly 28, 29. It's going to make that a lot harder. Especially now that he's going to have Richard Drake coming after him as well. And we've seen how fast Richard Drake is. Almost 5 seconds now ahead of the second place. Like I said, he's close. It's a lot of pace. Battle for 6 has been going on for quite a while. Jesse Atkinson was able to take it for a while, but he's got himself up into 5th now. Michael Jennings starting to fall back just a hair as he's now into 7th position. Jeffrey Belk able to squeeze himself up into 6th. The 55 Noah's Mint Machine, Toyota Camry. Hallahan looking interested as well. Looks like he's got himself a little bit more stable as he's on the bottom, hoping to get around the 86. He's got the pace for it. He's gonna get it. So he heading into turn number 3. That's a nice move there for the 88 of Tyler Hallahan. I say that, though. It looks like he's coming into pit. That's going to push West now with some other guys pitting in. Wes Gallo up into 3rd. As Greg Snellgrove pitted in. Jesse Atkinson up into 4th. Bit of a different pit strategy out of these guys, seeing what they can do. Back a little bit, we currently see the 13th of Michael Sparks able to get a few positions as he's been able to stay up front. Currently staying out appears to be a good strategy, as it does mean you have pace, but we can see just how fast that 81 of Brian Fradienne is coming at him, what some fresh tires can do, sticking it on the bottom. There he goes. Up to Kyle Mundell there, currently about a front stretch ahead. As the rest of the field continues on their pit cycle, let's go take a look and see where everybody is in the pits. Looks like it is currently just going to be Drake and Coluccio inside. Snellgrove having to come down again, I do believe. Unfortunate, as that's now going to push Wes Gallo up into the lead. He's going to get a lap lead. Atkinson also chooses to stay out, staying now in 2nd position. Jeffrey Belk going to be in 3rd. Some more points there for Fisher Sport as Wes Gallo up front, and now Adria as well. HR Esports for Jesse Atkinson. I believe Will Cloud might be on that team, but that's still to be seen. As Atkinson now is going to be rolling into the pits as well. Wes Gallo choosing to stay out still. Definitely an interesting choice to be making here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. Once again, got to give a big thank you to our sponsors for putting on such a fantastic racing series over with Shorter Plumbing and BTT. Wes Gallo going in. That's going to push Jeffrey Belk out into the lead now, with Blake Hensley going to be in second position. Mr. Daytona, as his name suggests, able to secure his Daytona win. That is going to be the first win of the season. As Paul Ems is going to move around trying to get his lap back. Richard Drake there, currently also trying to hunt down the field as well. He's got to go around. That's a long way to go there for Richard Drake, and it looks like that strategy is going to be a bit difficult for him, as a lot of these guys are going to be in front of him. Michael Jennings chooses to stay out and now has the lead, chasing Rob Carl there. Let's see if his fuel saving can get him all the way up into lap 50, although I do doubt it. And finally, like I said, Kyle Mundell saving up his tires and fuel. Let's see what his pace is looking like as he tries to chase down Rob Carl. There's that pace difference on the fresher tires. I believe Rob did not take any. We can actually see our stints from when you pitted in on our left side as well. Let's go and bring that up. Provide some good context to see who is on their tires and for how long. Huge pace difference there for Kyle Mundell, able to close up a lot of time. He is absolutely on the move. See how that compares to Jesse Atkinson ahead now. Supposedly in 4 laps. He's closing up a lot of time. You can see that on that bottom right. He is moving. There he is. He's going to be taking that bottom lane, getting around just in 1 lap. Thank you once again to Pierce Graphics for putting together our battle prediction board. Great to see. We see Mundell going to be on the bottom. He takes out Jesse Atkinson, the double O. Looks like he's able to save it, though. They slow down. Caution is thrown. Looks like he was able to save it. Caution thrown. We're going to go ahead and take a look at for the rest of our field just in case there's any other issues. Currently, though, it does not look like there is. Everybody's going to be slowing down up until lap number 50, where your competition yellow will be thrown. Michael Jennings in the lead, though. It's going to be followed by Sylvan Seguin and Richard Drake. Richard on a bit older tires compared to some of the rest of the field, but he's been able to make up a lot of time, which is going to be helping him a lot. Interesting strategy now, though, is a lot of these guys just finished up their pits. That is going to make it a lot more difficult, especially with someone like Jennings, who now gets to take in fresh tires, a full load of fuel, anything he likes, completely penalty-free. It's going to be one of the few, I imagine, only going down. Yep, we can see him and Sylvan going to be the only 2 for now. This rest of the field has to stay out. So their strategy otherwise is going to be absolutely destroyed. Go ahead and rewind and see if I'm missing anything, but I do doubt it. Well, after taking a look, it did not look like there was anything else, just that almost spin there between Atkinson and Mundell, bringing out the yellow. Believe they were just a little bit fast on the trigger there. Weren't able to see Atkinson able to save it. So Richard Drake is leading your field in first position, able to save it. I mean, Richard Drake has been insane in terms of the speed, not only yesterday but also today, having a 5-second lead over his competitors. I mean, that is just a pace that is very difficult to match. Paul Ems is going to be alongside there in the 28. Actually, let's go and bring up Paul so we can have a nice discussion with this, but I know Richard likes to stay to himself. Paul, some of the booth, do you read me?
Yeah, I got you.
You're going to be starting in second place on this next restart. How exciting is that?
It's really good. Richard's very fast, though. I don't know if we have much for him, but we'll see what happens here.
Sure. I mean, you've been very fast this entire race, though. Being able to chase down a lot of your leaders, get by your teammates and everything. I mean, that's certainly impressive.
Yeah, it's been a good race. Tires are a huge part of it. Obviously, this caution kind of throws a wrench into some plans here. But yeah, no, we're gonna give Richard a shot here, and we'll see what we can do.
Absolutely. Is there any kind of strategy you're gonna have going forward now that the stage is gonna come out at lap number 50, even though you've had this caution?
Well, the nice thing is I don't have to save tires now, so we're gonna give him a real run for the money. Try to get try to win at the straight break. No, there's no saving now.
That makes a lot of sense to me. It's going to be a great battle to watch, especially with your teammates around and your chase for Richard Drake. Is there anyone you have to thank for your excellent race car here tonight?
No, just the team. We put in quite a bit of practice for this one. Obviously, we needed a good point stay, so we're looking to be on track for that.
All right. Thank you much for your time, Paul. I do appreciate it.
Thanks, Noah.
M's the number 28 Chevrolet Camaro, currently sporting Hooters. And now with the 1-2 green going to be being shown, I do believe. Lapped cars are going to go on by. Paul M's going to pull up into the front row. Jesse Atkinson going to be starting in 5th position there. As I had said before, this man has been absolutely on the move. Started in 20th position. He's now up in 5th. He's got some great competition around them, though. He's got Brandon Fiedler on the outside for Equipment Geek Racing. Then in front of Jesse directly is going to be the 22 Greg Snellgrove for Great White North with his teammate Paul Ems. Be up in front row on the outside with Richard Drake right in front. So going to turn number 3, the 24 degrees of banking is very interesting on the tires as these guys have to floor it on the bottom. And then up in turns 1 and 2 where the banking is less, you have to let off the throttle and try to get on as soon as you can without slamming into the wall or spinning out, making it that much more difficult. Very interesting for a 1.5 track here in Texas Motor Speedway as the iRacing.com pace car pulls off into the bottom. As now we approach the restart zone. And wait for it, green flag racing we have here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series, the BTT 150. Richard Drake off to an okay start, but he's got Greg Snellgrove right behind him, though. He did not get the runaway I know he wants. It looks like now, though, he's got a lot of pace up in those tires. He's able to rip it on the bottom. Look at the speed difference that he has compared to the field. Greg Snellgrove trying his best to chase down in that bottom lane. Looks like the high side just gets a little bit more of a run off of that now. As we see Paul Ems trying to close up the gap between himself and Richard. Can he do it is the main question we're going to have here. He's going to stick in the draft. As you said before, no tire saving now. He's going to go in under stage brake. Absolutely fantastic to see some excellent racing. But it looks like Richard Drake able to stick it on the bottom. Paul just doesn't have it. It looks like right there he's losing his most time off of exit, making it that much more difficult. Something we do not expect to change that much. As we see Jeffrey Belk right now cutting up through the field there in the number 55, Kyle Mundell right there with him. 07 of Wes Gallo as well. Looks like the Equipment Geek is really trying to make some moves now as they ride the bottom, getting around a lot of the field. Snellgrove and M starting to close up a little bit into Richard Drake there. We can find a little bit of information on Richard there. Let's go and find out. See on your right-hand side, got 3.3K I rating here in the oval. series for iRacing, and safety rating up 4.54. Something tells me he's definitely a bit fastest. We see the yellow come out again before the stage break. Let's go and take a look and see what happened. An unfortunate accident appears to have happened. Let's go and bring up the stream and see just what happened there. Is off of turn number 2. Looks like Brandon Field looks a little bit slow there in the outside lane. You can see Jennings there on the bottom. Kyle Mundell expecting probably a bit of a run. Tries to push him a bit, I guess, too. Doesn't help too much. That's going to send them both into the wall there. Big skim of it there, you can see. Looks like Mundell, after he clips it pretty bad, is going to be pulling down after he hit the wall. Collects Carl. Same with Seguin as well. That's going to be some heavy damage for them, and that's going to put Rob Carl out of this race, as that is 2 faster pairs he has to go through. Huge engine and straight into the wall. I think Mundell is probably going to have to quit this race too, because you can see he's turning into a modified there as they collect LaPierre. Actually, no, LaPierre able to escape just barely. Atkinson as well. Coluccio, very lucky. Tyler Hallahan there, absolutely obliterated as well. Looks like he net codes through. Not going to be nice for him. Cody Snyder able to just barely avoid it on the bottom. Yikes. That's how I'll put that. Yikes. We see Hallahan getting a push there from Mundell back into the pit road because he couldn't make it around. Oh no, he stopped at the wrong time. That's not going to help him either. It's going to put a lot of these guys in a very bad spot for this race. Looks like he was able to tow in, at least. But that's a lot of cars absolutely just destroyed, and going to be thinning out this field a bit. See Sparks going down pit road as well. Richard Drake still got the lead, but he's going to have Blake Hensley there. Mr. Daytona going to be behind him. And it's about now where the stage yellow, I believe the yellow might be extended for this, if I'm not mistaken. As you see Jennings up in third as well. Now is the time for tires, as it is the stage time. I believe after this lap, the stage win is going to go to Richard Drake. It's interesting, we don't usually have a caution around this time, making it a bit more difficult to determine who gets the stage on there, but I do believe it is going to be Drake. I believe we're live. Yep. You can see there that the iRacing is not a very big fan of how this accident played out, trying to go back into green, even though it's not yet. So yeah, on the completion of lap number 50, that's who gets your stage win, and it looks like Richard Drake should be getting that one the way that the yellows work here on the iRacing.com service. Michael Jennings able to get a top 3 there as well. That's going to be very nice there for his new team, renamed to Jennings Taub. Nope, Taub Jennings Racing. I mean, absolutely great for them. He's also got some good points with his teammate Matt Malavagna out in the field as well. Able to come on out, currently running in 13th position. Been a while since we've seen Matt before. Good to see some returning drivers. You gotta love it. And zoom in on the 3 Goodwrench Plus Chevrolet, we can see there. Once again, it's CASCAR. One of the best things about this league absolutely has to be the paint schemes we get to see. Got a lot of nice designers out here. So Richard Drake with his own scheme. There at the number 41, Hensley in the Got Milk Kellogg's number 31. Michael Jennings is going to be in the Checkered Leopard LLC 86. I know a paint that he built himself. Paul Ems in the Hooters number 28. See Wes Gallo there in the 07 with the Noah's Main machine. He's going to have his teammate behind him there, the 55 in the same paint as well, just a different number, a bit of an invert in the colors. Great to see. Greg Snellgrove there going to be in 7th with his Atlantic Carrier Chevrolet. Brian Fradian there in the 81. Like I said, great paint schemes we get to see. Well, I believe that's going to count as your stage break. Richard Drake able to secure it. We're now going to be starting the stage on lap number 51. It's half your race done. Let's go see what the rest of this is going to look like. I'm excited to see it with how exciting these guys like to put on a show. The iRacing.com pace car pulls off here at the BTT 150 with Texas Motor Speedway, as Richard Drake is going to lead us into the field as we go into the quad oval, and green flag it is going to be here with Richard Drake taking off on the start. He's got a decent start there. Blake Hensley there right side by side with him. He's going to have a bit of a longer run though on the outside, going to slow him up a bit as there's going to be 3 wide there almost for a second, as it looks like Jeffrey Belk is going to be not able to maintain the pace. Single file now as they head on the bottom ring up into turn number 3 now as they head down the backstretch. It looks like they got rid of the massive TV that used to be there, or I just didn't see it. It's been a while since I've taken a look at the actual thing for this. It's the largest TV in the world, if I'm not mistaken. As Richard Drake is going to get is another lap led there with 0.3 ahead already. Single lap able to get that much. Side-by-side action for second place, so between Ems and Hensley as they leave turn number 2 heading down the backstretch. Hensley still has it. However, he's got Ems there right with him. Same with Wes Gallo and the rest of your field. This is going to be very close as everybody's going to be on a lot fresher tires. Now, so we see Ems absolutely just trying to ride that bottom and get around the 31, but he doesn't have the pace quite yet. Blake Hensley is going to be putting up a decent fight there, even in that outside lane. Good action going on in the rear as well. Looks like Wes Gallo looking to the outside, hoping to get around. Paul Ems secures himself second place, able to keep it. Now he's going to stay on the bottom. He's going to have the preferred line, running through 3 and 4, hoping to chase down Richard Drake, who's currently got this thing in the bag. Hensley goes down to block Gallo, not going to let this be easy. See Jeffrey Belk hoping to maybe assist his teammate as well there. Michael Jennings running in 6th position has some big pressure around him as we see Greg Snellgrove going to be on the bottom. Atkinson hoping to shoot it out wide, but just ends up getting slowed down by the high line. It is not helpful. So they battle now down the backstretch. It looks like this is a big old gaggle of cars hoping to make some moves around here. We see Fradian there up into 7th. Sinking it now 3 wide with Atkinson. Looks like Jennings pushes Atkinson out wide into the wall. Bit of a skim there. I think I saw some sparks, but he's got a lot of pace still. Be side by side there with the 86 now as they enter turn number 1. Atkinson's been riding up the high line for a lot of this race so far. That's going to be helping his tires just that little bit, but he's got to keep the grip. Steven, great to see you out there in the chat. Always glad to put on the broadcast, and sure, we'll be Bob Jenkins. Greg Snellgrove there in the number 22, running in 6th position, still sticking it on the bottom. He's been there for a lot of this race. He's currently side by side with Fradian, but is they're now going to be battling 3 wide there for 3rd place. As they head down the backstretch, still 3 wide. It looks like Gallo is going to be the one getting it. A bit of a push there as they're able to clear out there of 3. That's allowed Jeffrey Belk to take 3rd place for himself. Wes Gallo in 4th, a big old block he's going to be for his teammate now as they've been able to get around. That's going to be a good move for Equipment Geek Racing and Fisher Sport Racing. As we head down a little bit, it's going to be a big old battle for 5th now to see who can get themselves back up to the front of that, as we see a bit of a slide there on the 81. He's got to slow down a lot there. His teammate of Brandon Fiedler behind, hoping to stick it with him. As we take a look up just a bit, it looks like Paul Ems is now chasing down Richard Drake and is absolutely making up time. Let's go and take a look and check our stints just to make sure that this is not a mistake. Just take a look. No, they are on similar age of lap tires. This is going to be making that much more interesting. And then with the stints board, you can see there a lot of these guys took tires on the still big almost wreck there. I think they save it. Oh no, they do not save it. Jennings coming up, just barely avoids Will Cloud. Michael Jennings around in turn number 3 as Richard Drake was losing time to Paul Ems. Hensley burned up the tires, yeah. Clearly looks like us. We're going to go ahead and make sure we check the replay and see just what happened there. Unfortunate there for Michael Jennings, losing it in turn number 3. A lot of drama we saw there out of turn number 2. Let's go ahead and take a look and see just what happened. We follow along with Blake Hensley there in the number 31. Looks like he's a bit slower up on that high line. And just, yeah, starts to slide there out of turn number 2. Looks like Atkinson isn't helping too much. Starts to turn him around as well. Atkinson slows up, gets a big old bump there from Coluccio. They're able to hold on to it, though, as Jennings goes down towards the bottom. Hensley still losing it, just absolutely gone. Whoa, Malavanya comes out of nowhere. Plows up into the 31, sending the 31 into Jennings, the 86, as they ride that bottom line. That is going to be pushing the 86 up there. It looks like super close to Will Cloud. Maybe a skim there. Just been able to get out of that one. Just barely. As the 86 ends up the big damage out of that one, even though Hensley was a huge proponent in that. Unfortunate. You hate to see it. These kind of drastic events that happen here, especially at these bigger tracks, ones with the 550 package here, like Texas Motor Speedway. Can we get a Grug the Snail? Sure, we can check in on good old Grug. We'll see how he's doing. Currently, right now, running in 3rd place there with the number 22 Atlantic Carrier Chevrolet. I'm sure he's happy to be up there towards the front, although I imagine he's going to be on some older tires. Not making his life easy for him, as it looks like the worn tires there of Richard Drake are going to be sending him further down the line. And Paul Ems is going to be leading this race off the start. He's going to have Jeffrey Belk, though, alongside with Greg Snellgrove behind him, who's going to get a nice teammate. Actually, Steven, he does not have broken pedals anymore, if I'm correct. He got them fixed. Either that or some new ones are on the way or something. All I know is he should have a better run with them now, as he was having issues before. That is for certain. Let's see, who do we bring up now? We've already brought up Paul before. Let's go and bring up Jeffrey Belk and see how he is doing. Jeff is open the booth. Do you read me?
Yeah, how you doing, Noah?
Well, you're currently running in 2nd position here on this next restart. How does it feel to be in the Noah's Me machine up towards the front?
Feels good. It's been a while since we had this car out.
I know. I was a bit surprised when I saw both you and Wes in it in practice.
Yeah, had a very fun incident with Wes in practice. You saw it earlier. No one else did, but that was interesting. But yeah, glad to be up here. Hopefully we can have some good finish. We already blew through our fast repair with that incident on lap 1, but we're going to try to keep it in one piece for you.
Makes a lot of sense to me. You've been running a pretty good race so far, minus that. But this is going to be a pretty good momentum swing after your last race at Road America, where you're able to secure the victory.
Yeah, main goal right now, which is already pretty much settled, try to get as many points ahead of Rob as I can, and he's already out of the race, so everything right now is just free game.
Absolutely. I mean, it's unfortunate to see a lot of these guys out of the race, but that comes with pack racing, does it not?
Always. Anyone can have it happen to them. Unfortunately, Rob got it this week. Next week might be me.
Right. Well, I want to thank you much for your time, Jeff. I do appreciate it. Who do you have to thank for being on the car here tonight?
Yeah, as always, 4 O'Clock Media. 4 O'Clock Media. I'm sorry, I just literally got messages on my screen. 4 O'Clock Media, Week Designs, Equipment Geek Racing, Sports Star. Everyone back at the shop, all my teammates. Every week, we're just out here trying to get some more experience in. Of course, as always, you out there for broadcasting, everyone out there for tuning in.
All right, thank you much for your time, Jeff. I do appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you.
Number 55 of Jeffrey Belk, Big Eat Racing. Be starting in second place alongside your current pole sitter of Paul Ems. Pole sitter in terms of who's going to be starting in the lead, I mean. Still, even with one car out, it is a pretty nice field to see here tonight with 19 cars now out on track. Better to have the 20, but I know how it is. Kyle Mundell going to be currently the rear of the field. Oh, that's a heavily damaged car. Hopefully he knows that the field is currently in front of him. As we join up towards the front of the field yet again, as we see the iRacing.com pace car be pulling off just out of the exit in turn number 4, and Paul Ems, the number 28 Hooters machine, getting its teammate right behind him, Equipment Geek right there, all surrounding Great White North as they enter the quad oval, and green flag. Away we go here with the BTT 150. Away is Paul Ems in the Short Republic Cup Series. Side by side with Jeffrey Belk, though they're going to be neck and neck now. As they enter turn number 1, it looks like Ems able to stick it with his teammate, is going to be getting a nice old lead. Hopefully he can hold on to it for that a little bit longer. Teammate there, Snellgrove, looking to the inside. He's currently not clear. We're going to see what they're going to be doing as we're going right overhead with our blink down. Good speed there out of the exit of 4. They're going to be all wound up now as they enter turn number 1. Full speed, letting off the throttle so they can make it around the interestingly banked turn number 1. 20 degrees of banking, like I had said before, makes it that much more difficult in these momentum-based races. As now it's going to be Great White North leading up the top 2 spots, holding now a block on Equipment Geek Racing from getting around. Team championship of last year went to Equipment Geek Racing, and they've been celebrating that all season there. Most of them running the gold rims. This looks like Brandon Fiedler hoping to get around his teammate there if he can do it on his more fresh tires. It looks like so far that is not going to be the case there. As Blake Hensley, involved in the last accident, finally takes up his fast straight. You can see the brand new fresh car as he pulls down to the bottom. On his fresh tires, he's going to be trying to get himself back up towards the front, but he's got to make sure he holds on to it, because if he burns up those things again, he's going to be in trouble. Riding on the bottom, we see Brandon Fiedler now behind Hensley as well. Paul Ems is not going to allow his teammate in quite yet as he's starting to pull away just a bit as well. Snuggrove going to be a good teammate and make sure he holds up that 3rd place now of Hensley, able to stay on the bottom and get the speed. He's going to block him. That's going to be a push there from Hensley onto Snuggrove and down into turn number 3. Looking down to the bottom, Hensley goes. He's got it. Paul Ems is going to make sure he makes that car about 8 lanes wide to not let him through. One thing with picking up this much pace there that Hensley is soon going to find is that his tires are going to be not thanking him later for it. However, there is not too much in this race left to go as we're going to be going into lap number 68 this time by. Side by side the teammates are as they enter into turn number 3. Greg Snellgrove taking up 2nd position now. And now we're seeing the familiar red paint scheme there of Richard Drake and the number 41 starting to close in to Jeffrey Belk, Paul Ems, Snellgrove, and Hensley. See what Richard's going to be able to do in this kind of tense situation. He's got a lot of cars around him. It's going to be that much harder to get around everybody. There's no mistaking that. We're going to hop back a little bit and see. Is there now 3 wide now as they enter turns number 3 and 4. Hop back with Wes Gallo and see what he is doing and what he's experiencing there as he's been fighting with this whole group of cars, hoping to stay up in the positions. We're going to watch the cockpit view and see what it's like going around Texas Motor Speedway. Tires not making this easy off of the exit of 4. As Hensley continues to pull away, Richard Drake trying to take the position away from Snellgrove. He's very close within striking distance. Listen to the off throttle here in turn number 1. running a majority of the turn off the throttle as they're going through 2. Still off as well. You got to be brave on the throttle on the exit. He's been able to do pretty good so far. Wes Gallo has. Still going to be a challenge nonetheless going forward. Richard Drake has been able to secure second place ahead of Snellgrove as Hensley continues to try to run away with this. We saw Richard Drake's information there earlier with 3.3 KI rating. Maybe making this a potential freeze depending on how his tires are holding up compared to Hensley. So we're going to bring up our battle prediction here, brought to you by Pierce Graphics. Supposedly he's dropping back, but we're going to see when it updates this time by how that's going to be looking. Ooh, big swipe there out of Jennings, I believe that is. He's now going to be up into 4th place. Good to see everybody out here tonight. I do appreciate, I know CASCAR does as well. It's good to be back up in the booth rather than trying to drive the car. Does not quite work, and they're going to be similar paced. All right, good to know. Hop back towards Michael Jennings as well. We can take a look, and it looks like he's been gaining some pace, not only against Greg Snellgrove, but just everybody else in general. Able to cut himself back up into 4th position. Jennings is on the move. Honestly, that's not too surprising here at Texas Motor Speedway, where you've seen him being a dominant car all night so far. Able to close up now to Greg Snellgrove as well. That's definitely some fresh tire action. Let's go and take a look at our driver stints, see what everybody is at. Jennings there. Actually, he's on pretty similar age to your 2 leaders, able to allow him to cut through. Definitely younger tires than Snellgrove and Fiedler and everybody else in behind, though. Greg Snellgrove in a great spot right now, ahead of everybody else. Even though he's currently running in 4th position, he's got a huge gap between himself and Brandon Fiedler, along with Brian Fratty and the whole rest of Equipment Geek. And sadly, his teammate there, Paul Ems, for him, making it that much harder to get through. Jennings, though, on a different strategy. I think he's going to be hoping that this works out for him, as everybody else is going to go back into the pits. Have to take their tires. Maybe he saved them a bit earlier on. Just going to be helping him later on when he's able to have an extra set. Sometimes having that extra set of tires just really makes a huge difference in terms of not just your pace, but the strategy options you have. So he continues to try to close in on Richard Drake, who in turn is trying to close in on Blake Hensley. He's been able to do it. Pick up our battle prediction. You can see within 10 laps he should be up there, but we're going to see how that tire wear changes things. Is about now they're both going to be running in the tire wear, and we've seen Richard Drake before able to close up a huge amount of time within that. Turn before the 24 degrees of banking, allowing him to keep it flat to the floor through there. He's now head across the start-finish line, so watch that number drop, I imagine. 5 laps, there it is. See, the overtake difficulty is still going to be high, but it's going down. So close up at 2-lap. Kyle Mundell going to be now going 9 laps down. There's unfortunate numerous incidents there in the 34 Waterloo Brewing Chevrolet. Around Drake is, though, he definitely has a high average lap speed. Richard Drake been able to dominate most of this race. Just got screwed on pit strategy, but it looks like now, even with the overtake difficulty continuing to drop, he is closing in. So Blake Hensley is going to watch this battle for the lead now. Thank you to Pierce Graphics once again for giving us a great view on what this battle is going to look like. As Drake begins to close in off of turn number 4, he's been keeping it flat to the floor. He takes to bottom lane. He's going to be forcing Hensley out wide, making it that much harder for him to go through the turn. Almost into the grass there. Hensley, though, onto Blake. Through 1 and 2, side-by-side collision between Hensley and Drake. It looks like Hensley able to save it. That's going to scuff up his tires. Almost, well, I'm sure unintentional. Almost looks like a dirty move. Like I said, I do believe that to be unintentional. It's not often that we see people moving each other out of the way, especially with only 20 to go, roughly here in the CASCAR Sugar Cup Series. Richard Drake, though, now is going to have a huge gap between himself and Blake Hensley. Going to be dominating this race once again. It's going to be a big tire scrub there for Hensley as well, allowing Jennings probably to get a good amount of time closed up. He's been able to essentially almost save a few laps on tires. Marc LaPierre currently cutting in on fresher tires as well, but not too fresh, as he's able to get around Atkinson and Will Cloud, as we see a big pit cycle going through from Snellgrove on down. Question is with this late kind of game pit stop, how is everybody going to fare? Everybody past 9th position, that is. Let's take a look at our manufacturer list. You can see just who everybody is choosing to drive in. Matt Malavagna now going to be taking up 6th place with that big old pit cycle. Michael Jennings now up in 3rd as well. This is really going to be helping him as he continues to run up here towards the front. Able to close in time, stay ahead of the competition. It's a place that I'm sure he is very happy to be in. So Jesse Atkinson there leaving pit road in the 00 Ford. Cloud able to beat him off of pit road there in the 48. I know Jesse likes to get a little bit of his stuff on stream there. Gotta thank him and Adra for being a great part of 4 Cloak Media there. As we see the Barbie vehicle off of turn number 2, be rejoining the racing surface. Remember that Barbie does not move on her own, and you can see the good old face of Galenda on the helmet driving the car. Oh, gotta love it. Wes Gallo continues to run in 4th position in the 07. This is going to be having Mark Lapierre closing time behind him. However, it seems like Lapierre clearly has a lot of... apparently not, actually. Who's closing on Wes Gallo? Mundell, maybe? Yep, Mundell. Okay. I thought that was Lapierre with a huge front end damage out of nowhere, but it is clearly not anymore. Sylvan Seguin currently running in 6th position with the 66 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Currently looking to be a good old points weekend there for Cyclone Racing as well, as it looks like Hensley running in 2nd and Sylvan in 6th are in a pretty good spot. However, still got a bit of time left in this race for that to change. Everybody from Snellgrove on down is currently a lap down, and they have a lot of time to make up, as it looks like Richard Drake is going to be heading into the pits. As Blake Hensley gets the lead once again. Michael Jennings taking up 2nd position as well, making this that much more interesting for him. And we're going to see what Mr. Hybrid's going to be able to do. If he's going to be on a decent strategy that allows him to finish to the end, although I do doubt it, that's going to be a great spot for him. For his new team there of Jennings Taub Racing, it's a great place to be. Vescalo now in 3rd. It looks like he's going to be slowing down to head into pit road. Lapierre chooses to stay out. Same with a lot of your guys that went in just a little bit earlier. They definitely do not want to go in now. Lapierre now up into 3rd due to the pit cycle. Seguin up into 4th. Yes, Steve, I know Jennings always saves fuel, but still, like I've said before in the broadcast, so it's clearly helping him in this race so far. Able to now, able to stay up in the top 5 for a lot of this race. I think it's helping him with his tire saving as well. He's not going to be taking the lead there as Hensley goes in. Hop down in your field to see the giant battles for position we're seeing right now. So Greg Snova is a bit ahead of the battles. We see Brandon Fiedler currently chasing down his teammate there, Brian Fradian. All running currently a lap down still as they have to get around Jennings and Lapierre to get their position back. They're definitely on more of an undercut type strategy. That comes when you have several cautions before a stage. See Paul Lems there in the number 28. He's been running up towards the front for a lot of this race now, currently struggling as he's currently in 11th. He's got to fight himself back up towards the top, which can be difficult. Matt Malavagna in the 3 currently running in 4th position, hoping to catch up to his teammate of Michael Jennings, but he slams into the wall there off of turn number 2. Sylvan Seguin ahead there in the 66 Napa Auto Parts. Let's take a look and see what everybody's looking at for stints. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, the rough estimation in terms of how long you can go is 38 laps. 40 if you're really pushing it. And it is going to be a close call for Michael Jennings if he can make it to the end. But he has a lot of time that he has in front of the next vehicle. He's currently got a 8-second gap to Lapierre behind. And then that to Greg Snellgrove, who's currently the lead car on fresh tires. That's 26 seconds he's got. A lot of your field going by now. Jennings, you can see the biggest difference it makes when you have fresh tires and you're not saving fuel. You get a lot of places done. Paul M is trying to make it around there with Cody Snyder behind. Snyder we also don't see too often there in the 4. They're running in 12th position. A little bit of information there on Cody and see how he is doing. Up 5 spots from where he started. It's a good place to be. Now getting up into 11th, getting on the inside there of Paul Ems. He's on the move. So they're going to be battling now for 11th position. As we head up a little bit further on, we can see Richard Drake trying to chase down Greg Snellgrove, and he's been able to do it. He's been closing up a lot of time now. He's going to try to swoop around. He's going to get the position there. Richard Drake ahead of Snellgrove as they enter turn number 3 on the bottom line. Snellgrove can't do anything about it. Hensley closing up time to Snellgrove as well. Behind them is going to be Brian Fradian, a decent ways back. 3 seconds behind. So your field racing on through there. This is definitely turning into more of an interesting start than I think we expected here towards the end. I was certainly expecting a bit of a different type of run. Didn't expect to see more of a fuel-saving strategy being taken by your leaders, or you know, really your entire field. At this point, we've seen a lot of guys in kind of weird spots and a lot of positions we don't usually see taken by others. But then we also see a few new starts, well, recent starts of guys who haven't started recently, such as Atkinson and Cloud, as well as Malvania, but they are making their gains. Will Cloud currently running in 13th, and Jesse Atkinson in 15th. Jesse, we saw, was definitely up towards the front earlier on in this race, but currently is struggling for pace right now. I think he's been involved in just a few too many accidents. Same with Cloud, who's been definitely hit a few times more than I know he'd like. Richard Drake overtaking Matt Malavanya now to head up towards the front of your field as he continues to chase down your leaders. He's definitely made up a lot of time onto Michael Jennings. I mean, this is going to be cutting it close. Coluccio throws a block there on the 81, forcing him up to the outside. Mundell out there as well. This is going to be difficult for Richard. He's got to stick it in the middle. Hensley sticking it through the middle there. Going around, going to try to go around Richard Drake there. He's using up his tires to do it. There he is, the 31, gets around 41 there. 3 wide there for just a moment. There is Coluccio. Is going to be stuck there on the outside, very close, side by side, down the backstretch they are going to be. And now Hensley has to close up a gap, not only to the car in front, but then a further about 12-second gap to the leader ahead. So right now it's actually going to be closer to 16 seconds. He has to close up within 5 laps. That's if Jennings can make it towards the end. This is turning into a very interesting type race for Michael Jennings. Does he have the fuel to stick it all the way there? It is going to be a very close call because he does not have the time to pit for it anymore. Fresh tires will not make the difference here. He's going to be taking up the wide turns, letting all the way off the throttle in the turns. Atkinson goes on by to get his lap back there. I'm sure the last thing that Michael Jennings wants right now is the caution to come out, because that is going to put everyone else around him, and I don't think that everybody will go in for tires and such. Mark Lapierre running in second position, currently 11 seconds back, has been able to stay ahead of the rest of the field so far on the same fuel-saving strategy, I believe it is. Yeah, they're on the same strategy as Blake Hensley is the next car to try to chase him down. He's got Richard Drake, though, right behind him, slowing them both up for it, which is not going to make it easy. Oh no, the word ban. Uh-oh. Okay. Assuming, no, I can do that. Well, with gasoline not going to be able to be used by Michael Jennings from the pits, he's got 3 laps to go. Completely off the throttle once again through 3 and 4. He's got to save all of that gasoline. Watch that gap, though, between Hensley and LaPierre. Let's actually go ahead and bring that up and see what our prediction board says. 8 laps is the estimated time. However, we've seen that gap absolutely drop. Let's see what he can do. As soon as he gets on LaPierre, that is going to be interesting to see as well what our board is going to say. We have to hop back up to our leader very shortly because it is going to be a non-stop interesting battle. As he's going to be now 2 laps to go. Does he have the fuel? Lap number 38, he is on his tires. Everything else we see, Hensley around. Jennings checking up back with your leader. He still has gasoline now as he's going to be crossing the line onto lap number 100. Can Michael Jennings get his first win of the season and his second here in the CASCAR Cup Series, winning Daytona last season? Completely off the throttle in 1 and 2. Looking pretty slow there. Can he? I hear the throttle once again there. Off of 3 and 4. I think Michael Jennings is going to be able to win this race on his gasoline-saving strategy. Drake getting around Hensley. LaPierre still has the position for second place. And on to turn number 4. Going into the quad oval and across the line, Michael Jennings wins the BTT 150 here at Texas Motor Speedway. His second win here with the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series goes to Michael Jennings. I'm sure right now he is absolutely thrilled and down on power and probably experiencing a fair amount of emotions right now, which I'm sure he's happy to have right now, as Greg Snellgrove was able to maybe secure himself a third place. Yeah, able to secure himself a third place. That's how far everybody back was. Snellgrove taking third. Able to secure himself in there. We're going to have to check back and see just what happened there. He's going to come down. I think he's sputtering a little bit there. Does he have enough to... Oh, he does. Some nice burnouts. You can see on your left-hand side the finishing order of this race. Jennings able to secure himself a victory. Richard Drake getting second position, apparently. Greg Snellgrove in third. Blake Hensley falling back into fourth. Team owner and constant racer Michael Jennings secured himself a race win here tonight in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. He's going to be head-to-head there with his teammate of Matt Malavagna. Both very excited. First win of the season. It's now going to be 2 seasons in a row he's been able to get at least 1 win. Massive props to him for saving that much gasoline. I got to keep saying that because I'm on the ban. Richard Drake getting a second place finish. Let's go on before we bring up your interviewees. Watch back and see just what happened there because I am fascinated to know how the end of this race went. We're going to go ahead and join back in now and see where we are here with Richard Drake. We're going to fast forward a bit till we catch up because I think that's where we are. I don't know. Actually, it's confusing. It's definitely an interesting finish as the gap is not representative of the pace difference. A 13-second gap between Jennings and Drake. Surprised that he made it. Absolutely surprised he made it. With that, though, I was going to bring up your third place finisher of Greg Snellgrove. I am fascinated to know what his thoughts are after getting a very interesting finish. Bring him up into the waiting room before we bring him in. Greg, it's open the boot. Do you read me?
I hear ya.
A third place finish here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series is going to go to you in the number 22 team. How do you feel?
I'm treating this like a win right now, man, after the start of the season I've had.
Honestly, that makes a lot of sense. I know that you've had a fair amount of struggle. You've been running up front every now and then, but you just end up in the back so later on due to strategy or just wrecks or something. So it's great to see you up here in the podium step once again.
So, I'm pumped, man. I'm excited. Gonna have some cold ones now and party the rest of the night.
You're not going to fix Tyler's computer?
I'll save it for tomorrow. He's a little grumpy monkey right now after his incident at the race.
I'm sure. Sadly, putting him down into 18th position. I know he hates to see it. But
yeah,
it's going to be a good, at least decent points haul for your team now. Able to be now up into third.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. I'm happy with that. That was a good points night for sure, and I'm looking forward for New Hampshire in 2 weeks because It's another one of them low downforce tracks with the high horsepower. Love them.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts on the leader able to take the win due to his strategy?
Man, that's why we call him the hybrid man. I was mind blown that he got that. I thought Richard was gonna win, and then him and Blake got made contact there, and I started running them down. Just a couple more laps, I think I would have got second, and Jennings might have ran out.
Man, an absolutely
Uh,
fascinating race that we've been able to see tonight.
yeah, no, I didn't. I honestly did not know who was gonna win with how much it was changing, and with all the different pit strategies and the way the yellows were falling. It was wild.
For sure. Well, I want to thank you very much for your time, Greg. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
The guys at Atlantic Carrier, my team, guys who come out and practice with us, just screwing around and having a good time, man. Like, you can't get faster if you don't go out on the track and have fun.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Greg. I do appreciate it. And
Thank
hopefully
you,
we get
Noah.
to see you soon.
I hope so too. See ya.
Number 22 of Greg Snowbro is going to bring up your second place finisher, Rational Richard Drake. Richard, just open the booth. Do you read me?
I read you, Noah.
A second place finish here tonight after your dominant win. I mean, the speed you had tonight was insane. How did you do it?
Oh, geez. Just did my best to keep a smooth line. I find turn one at Texas here is really all about the wide entry, which feels pretty natural to me because that's actually the same line that I run at my local short track. So, the deeper you go before you turn in, the harder you're able to come off, and really pays on that back straightaway.
For sure. I mean, I I can't be mind blown by the gap you had when the first yellow came out. That was a 5 second lead you had.
Yeah, just trying to, hit my mark and be consistent. And I think you get a little bit of an advantage when you're just out there running by yourself because it's all clean air, right? So I was definitely trying to give her as hard as I could, but I could tell from the relative that Greg and Paul were battling with each other and probably, messing each other up either aerodynamically or positionally on the track. And that just sort of gave me the freedom to just, stretch my legs a bit there.
It definitely worked out in your favor here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway, able to finish second off of that very interesting last run. What are your thoughts on the leader getting the win based on strategy?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a factor in any race that's going to have pit stops. And kudos to Michael for being able to make it. I was looking at to see whether we could possibly stay out or not, and it didn't seem like it. I calculated running out of fuel on lap 98 or 99. So the fact that he was able to make it all in a single run from that final caution till the end of the race is definitely impressive.
For sure. Well, I want to thank you very much for your time, Richard. I do appreciate it. Who do you have to thank for being on the car here tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank Pat Healy of the Laker News, Kinetic Racing, my team, and Covey's Auto Recyclers. Thanks very much, Noah.
All right, thank you. Have a great night.
All right, take care.
Number 41 of Richard Drake, able to secure himself a second place finish here in Texas Motor Speedway. It's going to bring up your race winner, Michael Jennings. Jennings, open the booth. Do you read me?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's been a season. You won once last season at Daytona, and now you've done it again here at Texas. That's one race, one a season. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Considering going into practice, I didn't feel I had the speed, or I couldn't get turn one down and two down for the life of me. So I wasn't confident there. 3 and 4, most guys have figured out by now. Taking the initial green flag, I clipped the grass in the dog legs, shot me in the inside. I thought my race was over from there.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, that was a saving grace because they all piled up right there on the backstretch on lap 1, so I missed that one. But after that, after we went back green, I found my stride with turn 1 and 2. Very happy with it, and ran top 10 most of the day. You call me Mr. Hybrid for a reason, bud.
For sure, but I mean, I am absolutely impressed by your ability to just come right back up to the top 5 multiple times, especially off of the exits of 1 and 2. I mean, it just was impressive, the mark you had down, and I am shocked to know how you did it.
To be honest with you, like I said, after that first caution, I just found my stride as to where I had to go, and it wasn't that way the entire race. It was just before the halfway mark, I want to say. I really figured out something on exit of turn 2 where I could get up alongside somebody and really have the lane I wanted going into 3 and 4. So,
I mean, an absolutely impressive display. My last question for you has to be, What were the feelings you had when you started to close in on the final laps and you had to watch that fuel meter?
Oh my! It wasn't so much the fuel meter. When I crossed the start finish line for the win, I had roughly a lap and a half, 2 laps left of fuel, so I knew I was good on fuel. My concern was the dreaded late race caution. That's what I had my eye out for. The closer we got, within 5 laps, I figured, all right, everybody's cycling through, they're all right. I started watching my relative. I saw Mark creeping in, then Blake right behind him. I'm thinking, oh well, geez, I know Blake's on new tires. So luckily, I was able to just keep my wits about me. I got to thank Matt Malavarna, my teammate. He was in my ear the entire time. Hit your marks, hit your marks, hit your marks. You're doing fine. He was giving me my distance. I'd like to thank Checkered Leopard LLC. Check them out on Facebook. Great apparel, NASCAR fans looking for diecast apparel, whatnot. Checkered Leopard LLC. I'd like to thank all the fans at home. What a great race. And considering coming into this, I was 15th in points. This should punch my ticket to the playoffs. So a great turnaround to my season. Thank you, Noah, for being here each and every week.
All right. Well, I'm absolutely glad to do it, and you've had a great season and a nice, good old list of people to thank. And before I let you
One more
go,
thing.
oh yeah, of course.
I also want to say congratulations to Kyle Taub. He is now part owner. We just recently went through a change. Jennings Esports is now Taub Jennings Racing. So congratulations, Kyle. This is your second win as a co-owner this weekend. So we're 2 for 2, buddy.
There you go. Even better news. Well, I want to thank you very much for your time, Mr. Jennings. I definitely do appreciate it, and congratulations on your fantastic race win.
Thank you, buddy.
Michael Jennings in the 86, able to secure himself a race victory here in Season 3 of the CASCAR Cup Series. I am definitely impressed. Thank you to Schroeder Plumbing for sponsoring our fantastic racing series and to BTT for this week. I'm out of kind of a loss for words. I mean, an absolute strategy that he was able to run. I mean, I was saying that the rough estimate was 38 laps. You could really push it to 40 if you're being very careful. But the fact he was able to go for even longer is just that much more impressive. So congratulations, Michael Jennings, on that. And then for everybody else been able to close up the gap and just how fast it was. This was a great race here tonight here at Texas. With that, I want to give a big old thank you to Pierce Graphics for putting together our brand new overlay package here for us here tonight, and to all of our other sponsors such as BTT, Frankenstein Metalworks, CASCAR, and the entire Schroeder Plumbing crew. And with that, I've been Noah Walter here on twitch.tv/4cloak, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.